Hey guys, welcome back. It's Friday, and today I was kind of exhausted, so I wrapped up the day early, but I was still watching the market. I just didn't keep on trading at one point. So I'll talk about the day trades I did today because we had some hot tickers. And look, we got HLBZ up over 150% right now. IPHA, it's struggling right now around 40%, and then CRVS at 80% at the moment. But wow, yeah, just beautiful action today. We could have probably ended the day up really nicely, but I dug myself the biggest hole on CRVS today. So I want to start talking about CRVS and then go to IPHA. But with CRVS, I was down just about 10% based on my average position size. I was like just like 0.5% away from that, and down 10% based on my average size. That's when I stopped trading for the day. That's when I hit my max stop. So I made my way all the way back. And then I don't know. I was already exhausted because we have a lot of travel plans coming up. I've been talking about it yesterday, where I wasn't really in the right state of mind. And then after making all back my losses and ending the day up $54, so pretty much a scratch day, I felt like, you know what? I'm just gonna wrap it up there. But I gotta say, today was a hot day that I probably should have kept on trading, and I feel like there's been a few hot days this week, so there's a good chance I'm gonna start trading longer into the day starting next week, because man, the market has really been taking off. Not always the nicest price action, I gotta say, but overall, it's been pretty good. Now, this is the last time you guys are going to see me with these lines in my face, because I am going to be leaving this, or we're going to be leaving this Airbnb near Lake Como in Italy, and we're going to be flying to South America, which is where I will be on Monday, I believe. We have 2 layovers. It's going to be a long trip, and I just hope they have a good movie on the airplane. Anywho, let's get into these trades, and I want to wrap up right at the end talking about the 2 swing trades that I was looking into. I made a poll about, and I even did one of the swing trades, so I want to talk very briefly at the end about how that all unfolded. So let's get started with CRVS. This ticker here is the one we are down on $411, and this ticker was just, it was a bit of a headache. Now, this is a ticker we've traded in the past several times, and when I was looking through my stats on this one, I was green on this ticker, but I noticed it had pretty nasty sell-offs, and for some reason, I didn't take that kind of past experience with me today, and I think that kind of cost me quite a bit. But what I do like about this ticker is that it was over the 180-day simple moving average. I really like that. I like the fact that the shares, 42,000 shares outstanding, not too much. Biotech with Catalyst. Okay, here we go. Good upside potential till about 5. I would argue maybe even we would see a run to 6. That's what I was thinking. So let's kind of go here to pre-market and see how I traded this one. Because wow, I traded this one like a buffoon. Again, I don't know. This week I did some really bad trading. We'll talk about my stats this week at the end as well, but man, overall, I'm a little disappointed with myself. So this ticker pops up here, and I was like, okay, nice big move back on the front side possibly, and I didn't think that it would really have a strong retrace after we saw this move. So I started buying up in here, looking for that breakout, but we didn't get it. I closed right away as kind of sellers came in, and my goal was to then rebuy. So I ended up rebuying here. And then rebought a little bit more when this pullback was a little bit stronger, but then I got shaken out almost at the perfect low here. And this was a big loss because I had a pretty decent size. I was long like $20-something thousand, $24,000. So I took a perfect loss here, almost at the bottom. It runs up. I chase in my FOMO mode, buying near the highs here, and then it sells off again. And I again cut my losses before it moves up here, and then I just shaky do some moves up to into this front side move, but I'm constantly losing. And this was so frustrating. In this move, I was down at one point. I was like $1,150, which right now I'm trading about $12,000 on average position size. So I was like right there on being stopped out for the day. I pretty much was stopped out of the day if I like rounded it up. So this was just horrible trading. Not once did I just give it a little bit of time and say, okay, let's let it pull back a little bit more aggressively. Let's, buy into the pullbacks where it's really selling off, and then, hope for a little bit moves and, be a little bit more scalpy. I was constantly waiting for that big move to the upside, which on HLBZ, it would have been the ticket, but I stopped trading by then. There was another pullback here. I made a little bit of profit back, but overall it was really frustrating. It wasn't until right before the market opened, and this is pretty much the last trading I did on the day before IPHA. this ticker popped back to the upside. I tried to do two little stabs on it, but I just didn't have that conviction. I was already down so much in the day. I didn't want to do one wrong move, and I did do wrong moves by just not sticking to the trade. Both of these could have been nice winners, but I just didn't hold long enough. These were small positions as well. Eventually, we had this, another big breakout here, and I was like, oh, like this is kind of what I was waiting for. We're breaking over 4. Let's see if we can get some continuation. So I started buying into this breakout here, which is what I kind of should be doing. I went ahead and took some profits fairly quickly because sometimes you just want to take a little bit of a win, especially when you're as red on the day as I was. Pulls back here. I load up on size, looking for a continuation. Guess what? Sells off a little bit more. This is really when I go a little bit ballsy here. I average down just a little bit, waiting for that move to 4-1. It happens, quick move, and this is, again, I sold at 403, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to sit around and wait for a breakout, because every time I wait for a big move, it doesn't happen for me right now. So it was good taking profits with my intention to buy back. It sells off a little bit more, but there was a pop to the upside. I quickly sell with intention to buy back. Again, I'm buying back. I'm like, oh my God, is this where I mess up? Am I gonna have to stop out here and be take a max loss on the day? Pops back up, and I got pretty lucky here. I had 6,000 shares roughly. And 6,000 shares, 6, 12, 8, and 24, $24,000 position size. I sell too soon, but I was so happy just to take a base hit on this one. You have no idea. CRVS had really strong front side moves, and then if you guys were trading it to it sold off so hard every time. It just moved to the upside and just whacked back to the downside. It was just constantly infuriating, this ticker. So stressful. I really don't know how it would have performed in here. Most likely I would have bought into the breakout here and got totally destroyed. So looking at this and thinking, I wish I bought these pullbacks, and these were nice 9% moves and whatnot. Knowing how I traded today and being exhausted as I was, I think I probably would have just stumbled over myself. So I really don't have regrets on not continuing trading it. So IPHA, the other ticker I traded today, the one I'm up 465 on, this was a pretty quick ticker in terms of how I traded it. And again, I only traded it very quickly pre-market. But this ticker, similar to CRVS, we didn't have those continuations. But this time I wasn't, trying to go balls to the wall and, look for the big breakout. I missed the big breakout, obviously. And then I tried to do some quick scalp trades here, looking for that break of that potential break of $8. And I just did many small trades, basically trading this one like a ranging ticker, where we have resistance here, we have support here, and I'm just scalping it. Not something I really enjoy doing, but at the same time, when you're as red as I was, I felt like I just need to get a few base hits in and get me away from that max stop on the day. And that basically brought me back to an okay standing. So when I later was trading CRVS here in this zone, it pretty much brought me back green on the day. But man, what an exhausting morning again. I'm a little shaky trading on how I did there, and I just feel like walking away today once I was back green was probably the best decision. I mean, it was pretty much a straight V curve, and who knows, maybe I could have kept on going to the upside, but I felt like at that point I was really pushing it. What I gotta say, IPHA at the open, it hurts me that I didn't trade this one. Look at this, sells off here, a little bit of a fake out, but then it rips up 15%, pulls back lightly to big support, rips up again 17%, light pullback, and then another 29-30% move. This move here in total was a 60% move. Woo! I'm getting really excited, because this is what we used to see almost every single day back in fall and spring. It's just so good to see this action again. I do want to go ahead and talk about HLBZ really quickly as well, because man, this ticker was nice. So we had a huge gap up day, around 100%, and then a total of 180% move at that high. But let me just show you guys what this one was working off of pre-market, how it looked pre-market, and also the shares, 30 million shares outstanding, pretty nice low, and market cap kind of high here at 600 million. So that's kind of on the high market cap. But let me show you how this ticker rocketed to the upside here. This is when it's popped up in my scanner, and I was looking at it, and I had a limit order right here ready to go. So it was up like 20%. I usually don't trade tickers till they're over 40%, but the market's been slower, so I haven't pertained following that rule super closely. But look at this, HLBZ pops up here, and then whack, 40%. Whew. And then it doesn't even have like a big sell-off. It really holds its highs well, has a 14% move, pulls back one candle here, another 15% move. If I just traded this one time, we could have had a huge day today. So I think I'm done stopping the day early. We've been seeing some really, really good action lately. I don't regret necessarily stopping the day early because I haven't really been in the right state of mind, especially with all this traveling going on. We just had strikes now with train strikes in Italy, so we had to reschedule so many things. It's been a total nightmare. Traveling during COVID, guys, just don't do it. I would recommend not to avoid it at all costs. But yeah, I love this action we're seeing here, and I'm ready to get going, getting aggressive again. So yeah, that was my day today. Now I do want to talk about my IRA account a little bit here. These are some swing trades that we're currently in. Obviously, you guys know all of those swing trades. If you guys follow my portfolio, all you have to do here is go to my profile, and then you can check out all my portfolios. Just go on the swing trading portfolio. It is not private, so anyone can check out my swing trades and what they're currently doing, and all my open swing trades and stats and so on and so forth. But let me just scroll down to September here on our calendar and show you guys what happened yesterday. So yesterday I ended the day up $1,600 because I entered a swing trade. But what I really did do was I closed the swing trade because I was just staring at the screen and I was like, man, I cannot keep holding on to this one. I need to take some profits here. So, yesterday I made a poll. Should I YOLO on SPCE and RINT? 22 votes came in, and look at this. 50-50. It's so rare that there's ever, a perfectly split decision. Space, for the most part, was winning for quite some time, and then eventually IRNT totally caught up. Now, I gotta say, Space, I like this ticker a lot more, and I probably will be swing trading this one. My goal was, I was thinking IRNT was going to give us a quicker front side potential move. So that's why I went in with IRNT first, with goals of maybe switching over to Space then with ideally profits. So let's go to this ticker, IRNT, and talk about how I traded this one. Obviously, again, you guys can do this on your own time, just going to my stats, my portfolio, and checking out this trade. This trade was this was kind of ridiculous. So basically, let's come back up here. This ticker is a Wall Street bet ticker. It's been quite hypey lately, and it's on a clear front side move. It still is, and I definitely want to look for another entry maybe in this area. I'm going to have an alert as we keep breaking to the downside, because I could see myself buying this one maybe on Monday, looking for that continuation back to the upside. So let's see what we get. I don't think necessarily this ticker is over. Last time we had a big front side move, 150%. We pulled back 48%. So right now, if we pull back 48%, we'd be getting close to this blue line, right in this big support zone. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, I was thinking, well, maybe, the support's actually around here, so we'll have that continuation tomorrow, maybe a gap day. We'll see what happens. We were having this kind of big downwards trend here, and eventually we found some support, and I started buying into this area. I bought a little bit too soon here. I thought we were breaking back above the 9 EMA, so my first position was below it. My second position was on the break of the 9 EMA, which we did for a little bit. It was too soon. I should have waited this one a little bit longer, because it ended up selling quite aggressively, actually, around 9% or so. So I could have averaged in much more over here. Oh well, it didn't happen. Then it had this huge run to the upside, sells off, and now it's kind of shaking in this area. And I just, for some reason, I had the strongest feeling that this ticker was going to sell off again, and I just couldn't hold. Like, I was going to dinner. I didn't want to be thinking about this swing trade, because this isn't even like my classic swing trade where I'm planning to hold it for 2 months. Like, this is like a swing trade that's such a volatile ticker, and I don't really feel safe holding this ticker necessarily overnight. So I was like, it was popping up here again, and I was up over 10% on this ticker, and I just had to sell it. So I sold it here, pops up again, and I'm like, oh, I guess I sold it too soon, but then it instantly flushes back down here, and yeah, it did, run up here, but I would have been at dinner, and I don't know what I would have done. Anyway, overnight, it sells off here, finds support, and now it's been selling off, actually finding a little bit of support again, but I don't know. Like, I would have had a hard time holding that one overnight. And the only thing I promised to do was alert you guys the whole way through on the Discord. So I said when I entered, and I said when I exited. I was just like, I can't hold on to this one. And I didn't really necessarily give a good reason in terms of technicals. It was more of like a feeling. I was staring at the screen too long, and I just was lacking conviction. This whole week I was lacking conviction a little bit. But let's talk about space here as well very quickly and show you guys why I really, really like what this ticker is doing one more time. We found that big support here. It's been an independent pattern. We have always huge support around 23, and we're really, really finding a lot of bounces off this area. Now, I would be looking for a potential move, I said in yesterday's video, just to around here, this $30 zone. So right now, as an entry, it's not as nice as it was yesterday because I already had a bit of that move. So it's, your risk reward's not getting as nice, but I still think there's huge time support here. It might be good riding this one, but I don't think I'm going to enter today. Plus, I traded this one in a Roth IRA, which is a cash account, so I need to let the cash settle regardless. Overall, it's been a crazy September. We've had kind of slow weeks, but it's now picking up a little bit, and we got pretty much 2 full weeks ahead of us. So I'm super stoked to get a little bit more aggressive again, and I'm ready to get going here coming into the last 2 weeks of September. So let's quickly go to my stats for September and just check this out. So I'm up around $5,000. Not really that big. It's okay, but my average cost here, so my average position size per trade dollar amount is $12,000. This is where I'm getting my stats from. Just in case you guys are curious and you're wondering, Alex, what do you mean by up 10% or down 10% or all those numbers? This is always where I'm pulling all these statistics from. And if we come to running P&L on September, this week, Monday was such a chop week. I just couldn't get on the right side of the page. I was constantly, losing money. But overall, I was able to manage my risk pretty well. On Tuesday here, I ended nicely in the highs, and on actually every single day since then. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I ended at the highs, and today it's going to be a giant V pattern. So sometimes I'll start off in the red, but ultimately what I'm always focused on is risk management, waiting to get my groove. And once I find it, getting aggressive on the tickers that make sense to me, the moves that make sense to me, and waiting for the best, and then getting super aggressive. Now, I do like to take stabs on, trades all the time, because sometimes you don't really know, is this a really good move until it's in it. And if you're on a nice front side, then you can start accumulating it. But sometimes, like you saw today, I'll take one stab after another. And today my mistake was just getting too big size right away, and that really cost me. So when I upload my stats on either tomorrow or most likely Monday, you're going to see this huge V, and that's because I didn't manage my risk enough. I started the day with way too big size. So if I just started with smaller size, I would have traded probably much better, because I would have been a little bit more relaxed how I handled my trades. And even if it was a 3, 4, or 5% loser, it would have not affected me so bad. And it would have been looking probably a lot more like Monday, or maybe even like Wednesday, where we had a little bit of sell off and then I made my way back higher. So big mistake here today was just taking way too big size, way too early on, and getting too aggressive, looking for that home run trade when I don't even have a cushion, and the ticker hasn't even proved itself that it's on the front side. So those were really my mistakes today, and I'm happy I could share them with you. All right, guys, have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to drop a like on the way out. I really, really appreciate that. Consider subscribing if you're new, and like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.